I didn't feel it was necessary. I think we should just have a conversation around this. I'd love to have you collaborate with me as I go through doubling down on your database. And would we all agree that right now is absolutely the most important time for us to be in front of more consistently the people we're already in life and business with? I see some heads nodding, absolutely, right? And I built this presentation around as soon as COVID-19 really started hitting hard. Around March 13th, March 20th was that week where we were all being told, okay, it's time for you to stay home. And what we know about most people is that they crave connection. And so I was thinking about, what do I do? What do we do as a team? What do we really promote within Keller Williams in general? And I wanted to boil it down to some very specific tactics and some specific ideas around how we keep our mindset healthy so we can then help other people keep their mindset healthy and have the opportunity to have some business through this. I am okay saying that I am going to pour into the person, and if a potential business opportunity shows up because of it, that's fine. I am putting the business opportunity to the side for right now. Some of you that know me know that I push. I make a lot of calls. I push. I want to see business happen, and I'm going to take the driver's seat of that. Right now, I'm setting that to the side. It will still happen. Our team did 10 transactions last month or last week. Business is still happening. So don't let someone tell you business isn't happening still. And I don't know if it needs to be the focus when we're talking about our database. So I'm gonna jump right on in. Now, if you've read Shift, Gary Keller talks about it right in there. He talks about building a moat around your business. Now, I don't know if you're paying attention, and if you aren't, I think you should. We're seeing a lot of our competitors, if you will, recede. I look at a moat like this. We are in our castle. Our castle is our business, right? We build a moat around that business. And then from the hills, from the trees, from the forest, there are advancing armies, if you will, that are coming to take our business from us. It's our job to protect that. Now, are you paying attention to Open Door? Are you paying attention to Zillow Offers? Are you paying attention to Compass? Are you paying attention to Redfin? Are they shrinking their force? They absolutely are. So on one hand, we've got our competitors receding into the hills, going back to their base, going back to figure out how can they advance again in the future, and right now they need to survive. So thank you to them for doing that, because it gives us the opportunity to deepen and widen our moat around our castle. Now, in the old days, the castle was for two purposes, or the moat was for two purposes: to keep people out and to keep the good in. And that's what we're talking about mostly here today. Keep the people within our kingdom, if you want to call it that, or queendom, whatever you want to call it. It's to protect what we have. And I think this is all about getting in front of them more and more consistently. We have to fortify, and then we can advance. I'm going to talk really briefly about growing your database towards the end of this, although right now I think the idea is protect what you've got. And we hear all the time that it's easier to go from 10 to 20 transactions in a year than it is to go from 100 to 200, even though they're both doubling. The reason is because you have to go and protect the 100 that you already had for the last year, find them again, and then add another 100 on top of it. Whereas with 10 to 20, sure, that's some brute strength, that's some new skill set, that's some new systems, absolutely. Right now, strengthen what you've got. If it's 1, if it's 5, if it's 10, if it's 100, strengthen around that first, and then advance from there. And that advancement might be in 30 days. It might be right now. Some of you are having tremendous success right now. That's great. Some of this might be 6 months from now. We don't know. If you were watching or listening or heard the recap of Governor Newsom's speech yesterday, we don't know. He basically said, come back to me in 15 days, 14 days, and ask me that question again, and then maybe we'll have a timeline for you. Okay, so we just don't know. So we can either hope, pray, which I think we should do, hope and pray about it, yes, although make our plan for how we're going to operate within the game that we're playing today. And that's, again, about our database. First thing I want to go through is being a resource. I look at being a resource for others. It's one of the scripts I use in everything. My intention, my goal is to be a resource for you. That's why I'm here today. That's why I'm in front of my partners every single day. It's why I'm in front of other people every single day and every single week. Be a resource. And I want you to think about how you can be a resource for your database right now. It does not mean you have to be the direct resource. And I'll give you an example about, the week this whole thing really went crazy. I posted on Facebook, I said, hey, if you're worried about being able to feed your kids because now schools are closed, okay, great. Let me know. I'll figure something out. I can't promise I'll deliver food to every single person because I just don't have the bandwidth or the finances to do so. And yet, if you need it, I promise you I'll work together with you to figure something out. That's both being direct and indirect resources. Can you think of ways to be a resource for people that just might need it? And remember, if they didn't need it yesterday, could they potentially need it tomorrow? Are things changing so dramatically and so quickly right now that someone that didn't have a need yesterday or 5 minutes ago all of a sudden does? The PPP program, out of money. That's the Paycheck Protection Plan. Out of money. Now they're hoping for another $250 million to refund it so the businesses that didn't get the money that they wanted can go back and get it. Okay, that business owner that was potentially hoping, praying, and relying on that money coming in no longer has that as an option. So how can we be a resource for them? It could be as simple as telling their story for them. Later today, I'll post on Facebook, or maybe tomorrow I'll post about a gift basket I received over Easter from a cake making company. Just getting it out in front of my database and showing that, hey, this person's still in business, this person does amazing work, and you should check them out if you ever have a need today or in the future. That's one little thing we can do to be a resource for the companies or the people that we're in business or in life with. So I want you to think about resources. And here are a few examples that you might think of or might choose to use. What are some of the most affected and potentially most susceptible people, not just for the virus, just in this environment in general? Elderly. So if they're over 65, are there certain things that they have available to them now that they didn't have available to them 3 weeks ago? The answer is yes. Are a lot of your stores in your area offering elderly, and I don't like calling it that, although that's what we're calling it, elderly only shopping? Could you go to someone that is 65 or older, so we'll call them seasoned, how's that, a little better? Seasoned, go to 65 or older, or someone that knows someone that's 65 or older. By the way, we all know somebody that knows somebody that's 65 or older, and say, hey, I don't know if you knew about this, and if you're looking for a way, or if you know someone that is, to shop without all the other people in the community around them, here are some stores in our area that right now are offering seasoned only people shopping. It's a great little resource. If they choose not to use it, that is okay. If they choose not to disseminate it or give it to somebody else, that is okay, because what will they remember? That you gave them information and an opportunity to do something. That is where the business benefit could come in longer down the road. And I'm okay with that. Again, what about homeschooling? Has everybody with kids all of a sudden become homeschoolers? Are you seeing all the memes on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram about just how crazy that really is? How we all think now that teachers should be earning $1 million a year, and I agree, because holy mackerel, it is a totally different world having kids present every single minute of the day. Now, some of you might have been doing it beforehand. God bless you. You're amazing. It is new to most of the world right now. Are there some things you could put in front of them that give them a reprieve or some relief? Here are some engaging things that you can have your kids do that are still entertaining and educational, that allow you as the parent to maybe take some of the pressure off yourself. Not putting them in front of the TV. If you choose to do that, that's your choice, no judgment. Something that they can get in front of that helps them learn, helps them engage, and also gives the parents a break. My mentor scheduled, he's done 3 or 4 of these now, a 45-minute hip hop dancing class because his son's a hip hop dancer. Anybody and everybody that wanted to join in, hey, fine, register, join in 45 minutes of hip hop dancing that the parents got to take a step back and they can consider it PE. Whatever works. Remember, it doesn't have to be you doing it. It just has to be you being the conduit for the information or the opportunity. A couple other ones are just fun. Be the levity in the situation. People will mirror your attitude. Your friends, your family, your prospects, your clients will mirror the energy you bring to this. So can you raise the level of fun, raise the level of levity just a little bit? Cracking jokes. If you follow me on Facebook, I post out there maybe every once a week, quarantine day 19, and I make some stupid comment. Just something that is meant to get a smile to crack on someone's face that might have needed it in the moment. They might have been totally fine the day before, and they might be depressed today. 7 stages of grief, one of them, number 5, is depression. If they're in that state, or if they're in one of the other 6, because the 7th one's actually good, okay, then I want them to smile because of me. And again, if they think of me when they think of smiling from this point forward for at least a short amount of time, great, I'm okay with that. And also being a conduit for information and, there we go, and being a conduit for information and truth. I'm not looking for people's opinions on things, and if you choose to put your opinion out there, good for you again. What I'm looking for are facts. I'm looking for information on things that will help me, help my mindset, and help myself move forward. So being a resource is key in these times. And by the way, is everything I'm saying right now apply to before COVID and post-COVID? Could you be this person, not just today? Could you be this person when all this is a memory and hopefully not a, hopefully a memory, just hopefully a memory, of course. Next, your messaging. Be very careful about the messaging you're putting out there right now. Some of us have very firm opinions on what we're doing right now as a community, as a society, as an economy. We have very firm and adamant opinions, and I don't know if this is the time to be going out there and just blasting people with those opinions. If you choose to, again, no judgment, it's your choice. I just don't know if it's the right course for me or for some people I know. The perception of the people that are on the other side of that message is something we do have to think about, like it or not, whether it's politically correct or whatever. You are a business, and the perception people have of you is the perception they have of your business. Now, if you're going to cater to one very specific niche market, good, stay there. That's fine. If you're broadcasting to a lot of people, be careful of your message. This also goes down into your drip campaigns. If you're in command or another CRM, or if you have somebody, a third party, sending out messages on your behalf, be sure to check what those messages say. Would it be appropriate right now for someone that visited your site 3 times and automatically received a message from your CRM, which we have, that said, hey, saw that you really liked 123 Main Street, let's schedule some time to go see it? Is that necessarily an appropriate message? No. Is it very easy or very simple, not easy, to go through your database or go through your CRM and check the messages that are going out on your behalf? It'll take time. Well, for some of us, we have that. I gained 30 minutes back in my day just from commute. I'm also identifying another hour or 2 hours a day where I was being inefficient because I was in an office surrounded by people. I'll take this right back to the office when I go back, that I now have extra time during the day to be able to make sure I'm doing those things that put me in a better position. So watch your message. I think you should make it about the people, not about the house. And let me explain. I love seeing, I'm connected with many of you on Facebook, and I love seeing the successes about this house sold, this house pending. I love it. This new listing, love it, love it, love it. And I also understand that if we can make it more about the person, you got to remind people you're in real estate. Keep doing that. And if we can make it about the story of the person, which one of these resonates with you more? Great house, just sold, over asking, 150,000, whatever the numbers are. Or my amazing clients Joe and Marie, they were unsure if they could do this during this time period. They were able to secure a loan at a great rate, and now they're in their forever home with a lower payment than they ever thought they could have, and they're super excited about their forever home. Which one of those resonates more with you? It's the story that sells. Facts, information, good to put out there, 100%. And the story is what resonates. The story is what sells. So keep an eye on your messaging. Do you, don't do me, don't be me, do you, and think about it. Think about that message that's getting out in front of others. Call your database. Who here, if you can show of hands for those of you that are on video, has heard of the DTD2 through Never Ending Referrals, which is now part of Bold 2.0 as well? DTD2, for those that are uninitiated, if you will. There you go, Bold. I love it. By the way, if you haven't signed up for Bold Pivot, you should, because it starts May 5th. There's my plug for everybody.
And $99.
And 99 bucks. That is insane to have some of the best.
Hello.
Yes, I highly encourage it. And if I'm not putting this in anybody else's mouth, although if 99 bucks for you right now is unattainable, I get it. People are cutting costs everywhere. I totally understand. Reach out to somebody that would be willing to sponsor you. There are people out there. I'd be one of them, because I think this is such a powerful tool for you to be able to jump into. 99 bucks for 4 weeks of coaching multiple times per week with some of the best Bold coaches in the country. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? When it's normally 800 bucks. Point is, call your database. The DTD2, do the database too. That is all based on the recommended frequency of touching your database by phone, which is once a quarter. Now let me walk you through the formula here. If there are 26 letters in the alphabet, and I call 2 letters of the alphabet, DTD2, 2 letters of the alphabet every single week, I will make it through my entire database every 3 months, which means I will be put in front of them 4 times per year by phone. Now there's more to the program, although the point here is not about following that specifically. I think you need to do the DTD2 on steroids. I think you need to be picking 1 letter of the alphabet and calling every single person that has that as the first letter of their first name or the first letter of their last name every single day, which means you're going to make it through the entire alphabet in 1 month, which means you're going to touch them every month for the next 3 months, maybe 6 months, who knows. I don't think you can over communicate right now. People crave connection. And I have a question for you. This is rhetorical. How many people have called you just to ask you how you're doing? I can show you on one hand. That's outside my immediate family. 0. If you can't see it, I'm putting up the big old 0. 0 people have just called and said, hey, I'm just thinking about you. How are you doing during this whole thing? And is there anything you need? So if we're getting 1, 2, 5, if you got 30, great. You got some great people in your life. Most of us are getting very few. If that's happening to us, is it likely happening to our database too? So could you be the ray of light that shows up in their world today by just saying, hey, I was just thinking about you. I want to see how you're doing. Is there anything you need? How far will that go with your database? Now you've got to be willing to back it up. If they do have a need, you got to either be able to provide it, find it, or help them find it for themselves. Either way, you're now the indirect or direct resource again. Because people crave that connection, they crave certainty, and right now there's a lot of uncertainty. So if you can be that rock for them, or just something that'll uplift them a little bit today, great, great. Second or third, text. Text them too. If they don't respond to your calls, if they don't answer your calls, I call it the 1-2 punch. If I call you and you don't answer, I leave you a voicemail, and then you get a text. The text is because I truly want you to know that I'm reaching out to help you. I want to be here for you. It's a 1-2 punch because people respond to text so much more quickly, although the voice-to-voice connection is more important. You can also 1-2 punch on the text side. If I text you and you don't respond, you're likely going to get a secondary text from me, maybe an hour later, maybe 12 hours later, maybe the next day. And are you more likely to respond to 2 calls in a row and 2 texts in a row versus 1 of each? Likely. If I text you and I text you again, you're probably more likely to respond, even if it's stop texting me. Okay, that's not going to happen very much, especially with the message that we're delivering here. And keep that message very simple. I think the best scripts right now are 3 of them. Hey, that's just 1. Hello, hey, hi. How are you? And is there anything you need? The simplest scripts in the absolute world. For those of us that were worried about prospecting or lead generating before this is the perfect opportunity for all of us because all we need to do is connect. Now, prospects aside, I'm talking about your database. Prospects, if they have a need, I'm going to fill it. You want to buy a home? Great, we can work out how to do that. You need to sell a home? Great, let's get it listed, let's do that. Database, people that aren't motivated, ready, willing, or able just yet. Hi, how are you? Is there anything you need? If they come back at you, and I've had this question a lot, if they come back at you and say, well, no, we're not ready. With this whole thing going on, things are crazy. I get it. And I'm not calling about real estate. I'm calling as a human to a human. How are you? Is there anything you need? Real estate aside. You're still going to get some people to hang up. You're still going to get some people that don't quite trust where you're coming from. And you also have some that will engage. Those are the ones we can help right now. So think about that. Some things you can send via links or via text are links to information, links to those resources like the seasoned shopping hours, like the homeschooling tips, anything that makes them smile. I am getting bombarded by a couple of people right now that are sending me memes and short videos that just make me crack a smile or a laugh. And I need it during the day just like all of us do. It could be a video of you saying, hey, we don't get to see each other much right now and I just wanted to say hello and see how you're doing. I have leveled up my messaging game over the last couple of weeks to include a lot more video. Instead of just texts, instead of just messages to people's Facebook boards or walls or direct message, a lot more video, a lot more audio, so they can see the face, they can hear the voice. Yes, there's some strategy behind it. Mostly though, it's because I like it too. They don't have to look at it. They can delete it as soon as they receive it. Video is going to be extremely important for you moving forward. If you haven't already embraced it, I would start. Now, engaging your database. It's a question, and if you want to answer it, feel free. Otherwise, I'll jump right on in. Where do people spend the majority of their time outside of work and sleep? Kind of a vague question, right? Anybody want to take a guess? It's online. Yep, I see phones being held up. 80% of people's time outside of work, and even in work sometimes, and sleep is spent online, whether that is Google, YouTube, or social media. Most of it is social media, if you include YouTube in that kind of. 80%. If they're there, should we be there too? I've seen a lot of agents withdraw from social media right now. I think it's actually the time to double down into it. You got to be putting out good content, fun stuff, things that are important and relevant, connecting with you as a person. Because remember, social media is built on one thing, that's connection. It's not where we sell. If you ask 20 people, 100 people, what are the sites that you would think about when you think of real estate? They're not going to name Facebook as the top one. They're not going to name Facebook in the top 10. It's going to be Redfin, Trulia, Zillow, maybe your site, hopefully. And because Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat is all about personal connection. So what can you do to have more connection there, to have more people seeing you, which makes you more visible, more relevant, again, so you have more mind share. This is about doubling down on our database and getting there however we can. If you want a simple way to do this, go to whatever your primary social media page is and pick your top 50 or top 100 people and make them your focus for engagement. And what I mean there is every time they post, as long as it's a post you have some sort of agreement with or you're neutral to, go in and comment. Go in and like it because people like to look good and be right. And you can make them look good and feel right by engaging them on their social media posts. A couple of you, I'm looking at a couple of you on this call that do an amazing, amazing job on your social media of being visible. And I've seen it over the course of 6 months or 12 months. I've followed some of you for multiple years. It gets better and better and better because you just kept doing it and became more consistent with it. So if they're there, go to them. Now, this is where I've raised my game, and I'm going to give you just an example. Maybe a couple of you have received some of these. In the last 3 weeks, I've committed to 2 weeks really. I've committed to, instead of just posting happy birthday, I have 5,000 people in my Facebook group or Facebook page. I only know probably 3, 4, 5, 600 of them, although I wanted to build a big database. And I've committed to every single person that has a birthday on there is going to get a video message from me on their birthday. It used to be, if you were someone I didn't really know very well, it was just a post to your wall saying happy birthday. If you were someone I knew pretty well, it might have been a more thought out message, maybe even a text behind the scenes. And if you were someone really close to me, it was a call, face to face or face to face, maybe that's for like 2 people. Now it's a video for every single person. And by the way, it takes me 12 minutes to do 15 of them a day. It is a selfie video. Hey, I use their name because you want to make it personal. So I'm going to use Eli. Hey, Eli, just want to wish you a happy birthday on your special day. I hope you're doing well, staying safe. And if you ever need anything, let me know. And I just want to say happy birthday. 10 seconds. I go through the entire list. I record one for each, and then I post it to their walls because I'm the only person doing it. I've had multiple people come back to me in the last week and say, dude, that was so cool. You're the only person that took the time to shoot a video for me. And half of these people, I wouldn't be able to pick out of a crowd if we saw each other in public. Am I earning some mind share? By the way, does the video that also pops up on their feed when people look at their wall stand out against the rest? I'm not just looking for awareness from one person, I'm looking for awareness from a group of people. There's strategy, yes, to this, and if it makes their day a little bit brighter too, great, good for both of us. Here's another tactic, Facebook A to Z. Similar to the DTD2 or calling 2 letters of the alphabet, faster now. Facebook A to Z is picking a letter of the alphabet and sending them a direct message that day. So today may be A, and I pick everybody that has a name that starts with A, and I go in there and I send them a direct message. Very similar to texting. Think about it. I do not have 5,000 people in my phone. I do have 5,000 people on Facebook. Can I reach a lot more people through Facebook Messenger than I can through my phone? Absolutely. Facebook A to Z is as simple as it can be. Now, the only thing you're going to have to worry about is getting put into Facebook jail. I've been there 3 times. It's when you send too many of the same messages too quickly. So change up the content. And here from the business perspective, here's how I do this. I rank people C, B, and A. A being they are core advocates. They are the people I absolutely want to be in business with or am in business with. B's more acquaintance, friends, acquaintance. And then C, we might know each other, we might not. The C's are probably getting a cut and paste, copy and paste message. The B's are going to get a little bit more specific, and the A's are going to get something very personal or tailored to them. An example was I saw someone, this is pre-COVID, someone was in Europe in a place I traveled when I got out of college, and I just shot her a quick message. Hey, saw that you were in, it was London. I saw that you were in London.